Today I'm going to be talking to you about Squid Game Season 2. Now, it is all streaming. All 7 episodes of Season 2 are out now on Netflix, the perfect way to spend the day after Christmas. So dive into those, and don't worry, this is not going to be spoilery. I have seen them all, obviously, but I am going to keep major spoilers away from this review. So I will say I love Season 1. I love Season 1. I loved it. The twists, the turns, the mystery. I was right there alongside of it. The games were insane. That ending was nuts. And I thought, this is a perfect season of television. I don't know how they're going to top it. So when Season 2 was announced and I knew it was coming out, I was very excited. And I thought, there's no way this is going to live up to the Season 1 hype. And unfortunately, it doesn't live up to the Season 1 hype. And I'm not saying this is a bad show. It's not a bad season of television. But when you compare it to what is a perfect television season, it's obviously, it just doesn't hit there. It doesn't hit that peak. But it is good. It is interesting. You have 7 episodes, some longer than others. There's one that's like over an hour. You know, they fluctuate between like 45-ish minutes and like a little over an hour. And I really did enjoy the series. I did. Or the season, I should say. First couple episodes are really good. We're getting back into the games. Of course, part of it is spent in the real world. There's some insane stuff that happens at the end of the first episode. And you're like, okay. And then to the second episode. And you're like, okay, here we go. And you get back into the games. And of course, the first one is red light, green light. It's that classic one. We already knew this game was going to return because we saw it in the trailer. And I was excited to watch it again. And it's interesting to see it this time around. Like, we know what's going to happen. And then also the characters end up knowing what's going to happen, which is a very interesting take on the games like this. Then things get switched up. And that is what I found to be the most interesting, is when the games start to change and evolve. And you're like, what is going on? Of course, and I'm going to keep this, I'm not going to explain it fully because I don't want to talk about spoilers, but there is someone else that is a part of the game, which makes things interesting. Someone kind of similar to the first one when there was someone undercover in the games, right? That's what I'll say. And so that was very interesting to watch, but we know it this time around, okay? It's not a surprise to us. It's not a shock to us, which is what I think worked really well in the first season. So you're kind of watching this just waiting for the shoe to drop, right? You are like, I know eventually something is going to happen. And it does. Now this season, the games are like, the new games are very cool. I was happy to get new games. Very interesting. There's a lot of blood and gore, just like we've had before in the past, of course. But my biggest issue with this, number one, like I said, it's a fully different dynamic when you know, like, what's coming, so to speak, right? Where in the first one, we did not know that there was someone undercover working in the games. This time we know, so it's like not as big of a shock when things get flipped, right? That said, it's very interesting to watch. It adds a new dynamic to things. But like I said, my biggest issue, let's get to my biggest issue, is this feels like it is set up for what is to come. And it is, right? We know that this is a short-ish season. It's 7 episodes and they're long, yes. But they've already said, like, Season 3 really is kind of a continuation of Season 2. That's been put out there. And it is in a way that, like, Season 2 does not feel complete. It ends on a massive cliffhanger that, you know, like, there's no way they were just going to end the series here. We know there's more coming, which is fine. But you're just like, it feels like things start to really get going in the final 2 episodes, especially towards the end of the final episode. And you're like, yes, here we go. And now we're going to have to wait. And I didn't love that feeling. Because it feels like this season is there for setup for the most part. And it's frustrating. And I will say it's funny because they spend so much time in the games that every once in a while they go to the real world and I go, oh my God, I totally forgot that this was happening in the real world. Totally forgot this was going on right now. And then there's twists and turns there, which you don't see coming, which I do like. I like that there's twists and turns throughout. It kind of mirrors the twists and turns from the first season, but you just aren't really, I don't know how to explain it. It's not as exciting. It's not as captivating. It's interesting enough, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But I feel like so much of this was spent just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then you finally get there and the season ends, and it's like, no, and that's frustrating. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was fine. You know, I'd give it a 6 out of 10 because it just kind of feels like it's not complete. But I'm excited for more. I'm excited to see where we go from here. So that's my thoughts. It's not bad. It just doesn't feel complete, and that's really, really not sitting well with me. But I did love the new games. I thought they were interesting. I love the dynamics. It's interesting take on, I know I keep saying that word. It sets interesting dynamic. It really does, because you just, this time you know things you didn't know the first time around, and as do the characters playing the game, right? So it's just, it switches things up a little bit, let's put it that way. And I just can't wait to see more. That's really where we're at here. I want more. I want the ending. I want to see where this goes. So I guess it did its job. I just wish it didn't feel so incomplete. You guys let me know if you are excited for Squid Game Season 2, streaming now on Netflix. Down below in the comments, if by the time you got to this review, you have already watched it, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. Let's talk about it in the comments. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you guys can check me out at MamasGeeky.com. Thanks. I'll see you next time.